Hi, today I'm talking about American singer Sam Cooke, who died in 1964 at the age of 33. Sam Cooke was an American singer and songwriter. He was such a great soul artist that he was given the name King of Soul. He was born Samuel Cooke, which was C-O-O-K, without the letter E, in Clarksdale, Mississippi. There is a discrepancy regarding his birth year. Various articles state it is 1930 and others say it is 1931. His gravestone says 1930, but his death certificate says 1932. So he was born on the 22nd of January 1930, 1931 or 1932 to Reverend Charles Cooke and his wife Annie Mae Cooke, whose maiden name was Carol, making him 32, 33 or 34 at the time of his death. He was one of 8 children. His siblings were Charles Jr., Hattie, L.C., Agnes, Frank, Rebecca and Mary. The family moved to Chicago in 1933. He attended Wendell Phillips Academy High School, which is the same school Nat King Cole attended. Sam started his singing career performing with his siblings in his father's church. When he was older, Sam joined a gospel group called the Highway QCs and became their lead singer when he was a teenager. In 1950, he became the lead singer for the gospel group the Soul Stirrers. The group released records after signing with Specialty Records. He released his first pop soul single, Lovable, under the pseudonym Dale Cook because he didn't want to upset his gospel fans. Sam added the letter E to the end of his name in 1957 to signify the start of his new life as a recording artist. Also in 1957, Sam signed with Keane Records and recorded You Send Me, which he wrote. It was his first hit. It spent 6 weeks at #1 on the Billboard R&B chart and 3 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Pop chart. He had 29 US top 40 hits between the years of 1957 and 1964, with songs such as You Send Me, Cupid, Chain Gang, Wonderful World, Another Saturday Night, Only 16, and Twisting the Night Away. His song A Change Is Gonna Come was the song he wrote to enhance the civil rights movement when the black community were fighting for equal rights. He took an active role in the civil rights movement. There is a story where he refused to sing at a segregated concert. He was friends with Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and footballer Jim Brown, who were all a part of the movement. Twisting the Night Away was one of his biggest selling albums, which was released in 1962. Another hit album was Night Beat in 1963. Sam wrote most of his material. In 1961, Sam formed his own record label called SAR Records. He signed the Sims twins, the Valentinos, who were brothers Bobby and Cecil Womack. Bobby had success as a solo artist, and Cecil found fame as one half of the husband and wife duo Womack and Womack with Linda Cook. Linda is Sam's daughter. Also, he signed Mel Carter. And Johnny Taylor. He formed Derby Records with record producer, singer and songwriter J.W. Alexander. It was a subsidiary of SAR Records. Sam also formed a publishing company called Kegs. In 1963, Sam signed a 5-year contract with Alan Klein for him to manage Cag's Music and Star Records, and he was also his manager. Alan Klein was an accountant and he worked with the Stones. They set up a company called Tracy Limited, which was named after Sam's daughter, that would produce and own Sam's recordings. RCA Victor had distribution rights. Sam was married twice. His first marriage was in 1953 to singer and dancer Dolores Elizabeth Milligan Cook, who had the stage name Dee Dee Mohawk. They divorced in 1958. She was killed in a car accident the following year in Fresno, California. In 1958, Sam married his second wife, Barbara Campbell. They had 3 children: Linda, born in 1953, Tracy, born in 1960, and Vincent, born in 1961, who died in the family's swimming pool at the age of 18 months. Here is a camera Sam owned. This is an interesting fact about keeping it in the family. Sam's widow Barbara married his friend Bobby Womack less than 3 months after Sam's death. Here he is. They got divorced when she found out he was having an affair with her 17-year-old daughter, Linda. But later Linda married his brother Cecil Womack and formed the duo Womack and Womack. Cecil had previously been married to Motown singer Mary Wells. Sam's last hit was the song That's Where It's At. Cousin of Mine was on the B-side. The single was released in September 1964. On the 10th of December 1964, he had his album Live at the Copa in the charts. It had been recorded in July of that year. Sam was a massive star. He was popular, good-looking, and was married with children. Life was great. He was out for the evening with his record producer, Al Schmidt, and his wife, Joan, at Martoni's Italian restaurant off Sunset Boulevard. He spotted a girl who he liked the look of, 22-year-old Elisa Boyer. She was half Oriental, as her mother was Chinese and her father was English. He got talking to her and they sat together in a booth. Al and Joan left. Here is Al. After a while, Sam and Elisa left to go to PJ's nightclub, located at Santa Monica Boulevard. Elisa claimed she asked Sam to take her home when they left the club in his red Ferrari, but he sped down Harbour Freeway instead and took her to the Hacienda Motel at 9137 South Figueroa Street in the Watts area of Los Angeles. They arrived at about 2:30 a.m. Elisa said he seemed familiar with the motel. It offered rooms for short stays as it charged $3 per hour. Elisa said Sam stripped her clothes off and forced her onto the bed. She feared she was going to be raped. He let her go to the bathroom. She wanted to see if she could escape through the window, but she couldn't open it. When she came out of the bathroom, Sam was naked. He then went into the bathroom and Elisa took this opportunity to flee. She grabbed her clothes off the floor and ran to the street, where she called the police from a phone booth and reported that she was kidnapped. The call was logged at 3:08 a.m. Here are some of Sam's belongings. A furious Sam went to the motel's office, demanding to know where the girl was. Bertha Franklin, the 55-year-old African-American manageress, told him there was no one in her office. Here she is. Sam broke the door and gained access. There was a struggle between them and Bertha reached for her gun and fired. The first 2 bullets missed, but the third entered his left side, travelled across his chest, perforating his left lung, heart and right lung, which caused massive internal bleeding. Sam fell backwards, saying, "Lady, you shot me." Bertha also hit him with a broom handle. Evelyn Carr, the owner of the motel, called the police at 3:15 a.m. She had heard the commotion as she was on the other end of the telephone and had been talking to Bertha before Sam burst in. Elisa said she realised she had taken some of Sam's clothes with her when she fled. He only had a jacket and one shoe on when the police found him. It is a lady of the night's trick of taking a client's clothing, as the man is less likely to run after you if he is naked and barefoot. He was supposed to have had a lot of money on him that night. Perhaps Elisa went to the motel with him to rob him. The police found $108 in Sam's Ferrari, but his credit cards were missing. His wallet was probably in his trouser pocket, and his trousers were picked up by Elisa. Elisa and Bertha passed lie detector tests. The jury accepted the two women's testimonies. The coroner's inquest went along with their version of events. Sam's blood alcohol level showed he had been drunk. Bertha claimed she fired in self-defense, and his death was ruled as justifiable homicide. She was acquitted and the case was closed. There are many theories as to what really happened, assuming of course this isn't the real story. Some people think he was killed somewhere else and then taken to the motel. Sam was said to have enemies such as angry husbands, gangsters and white supremacists. His death might have been connected to his involvement in the civil rights movement. His song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," became an anthem for the movement, or his wife might have been fed up with him cheating on her. He was also trying to break away from his manager and business partner, Alan Klein. People think there was a conspiracy between Elisa and Bertha. This hasn't been proven. Also, there was a listening witness to the events, Evelyn Carr, who heard the argument as she listened on the telephone. Lawyer and pathologist Cyril H. Wecht said in The Lady You Shot Me documentary that it wasn't justifiable homicide, as Sam didn't have a weapon, but if he was attacking her, she would have been in fear for her life. His head was beaten. Bertha said she picked up a broom handle and hit him. Sam's hands and knee were bloodied. This could have happened when he broke the door. In the police photo, there is damage to the door. He was shot with a .22 caliber gun, and the gun registered to Bertha was a .32 caliber. Maybe she had a second gun that wasn't registered to her. Cyril doesn't believe in a conspiracy theory because there would have been blood patterns going into the entrance of the motel if he had been shot somewhere else and brought there. There wasn't blood found leading into the motel. Peter Guralnick, who wrote a biography of Sam Cooke called Dream Boogie, The Triumph of Sam Cooke, couldn't find any evidence of anything else other than the official story that Bertha shot him in self-defense. It might be that his family, friends and fans don't want to believe that he had a seedier side to him, hence why they believe something else happened to him. It seems to be common knowledge that he was an unfaithful husband. It turned out that Bertha Franklin had a criminal record. She was an ex-madam. She filed a lawsuit against Sam Cooke's estate for $200,000 in punitive damages and injuries. It was apparently settled out of court and she was granted $30,000. She got death threats after the shooting and had to leave her job. There is a story that she moved to Michigan and died 18 months later, but according to findagrave.com, she died in 1989 at the age of 80. Elisa Boyer was arrested in Hollywood a month after the incident for being a lady of the night, shall we put it that way. In 1979, she was found guilty of the second-degree murder of her boyfriend. She was sentenced to 25 years to life. The Hacienda Motel was torn down in 1998 and is now a parking lot. Sam had 2 funerals. The first one was in Chicago. The second one was in Los Angeles, and Ray Charles sang at the service. He was buried in Forest Lawn Memorial Park at 1712 South Glendale Avenue, Glendale, Los Angeles, California. His plot is in the Garden of Honor, Lot 5728, Space 1. Well, that was awful, wasn't it? And I don't know what else to say about that one. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.